welcome to a new episode of In Your Face. I'm Latch and today we'll continue on microtransaction. So in my last video I said that microtransaction isn't good or bad. It was more complex than that. So today we'll try to make a little more order in all this. Okay, so first, to help us decide if it's good or bad use of microtransaction, I came up with 3 rules that I believe we should all follow. Number 1. Players must enjoy the game without having to pay. That's a no-brainer, but still, most of the hate against microtransaction comes from games that doesn't respect that rule. Let me elaborate on that. Let's take a crowd. In my last video I said that 90% of people don't pay anything. But among this group, some will become your fans. The remaining 10% will be willing to pay. The most common mistake now is to look at this and say, well, fuck those guys. The money's over there. I'll make the game fun only for those who pay. No! Of course this is stupid, don't ever do that. The thing is, those guys, they don't come from the crowd directly. They come from here, from the group who just want to try the game for free. So the goal now is to fill that group with fans, to be sure they have a good time. And maybe one day they'll support you. And even if they don't, fans are the most important thing you have. Because even if they don't give you money, they will remember you. They will talk about you, tell their friends, do promotion for you. If your fans love you, they'll support you in some way. So players must be able to enjoy the game without having to pay. That rule is applied on many other domains as well. Imagine I make a YouTube video of me playing the piano, and I go like this. If you want me to finish the song, please give me $5. Of course, that's stupid, people will hate me. What you want to do is the same thing as Smooth McCrew does with Patreon. You can watch or hear everything he does for free on YouTube, but he also offers some extras over Patreon for a few bucks. Tell me what it is if it's not microtransaction. And that's the same approach you should have with your games. Allow people to enjoy your stuff for free, and give them a little more if they want to support you. Rule number 2. Microtransaction must not affect game balance. To explain my point here, I want to talk about something I heard too many times.
No, don't get me wrong. Games with microtransaction are okay, but they do not represent the purest form of game design.
Okay, first of all, that's just not true, alright? Just take a look at Space Team. Game design is in no way affected by microtransaction. The guy barely asked for money. It's a pure game design gem. It's free to play with microtransaction. And second, just stop saying that, alright? What you do is dragging everybody else down to lift yourself up. Saying, I'm the elite of the group. It's a classic artist to artist insult, alright? I won't drag your game down if you charge $5 for it. I mean, I won't go like, oh, if you want to charge $5 for your game, that's alright, but I prefer to give happiness for free. Now, come on. Now, to be fair, the purest of game design argument does have a point when crazy investor says stupid stuff like this. That's fucking scary. Nobody wants that. When done wrong, microtransaction can break the game experience pretty badly. So that's why I made this rule, to be sure game experience is intact. You need to avoid anything that creates a gap of power between payers and non-payers. The last thing you want is to piss off players that doesn't pay. So if you give special power-ups to people who pay, those who don't will feel less powerful. They'll say it's unfair. They will leave, decreasing your fans and supporters. So again, microtransaction must not affect game balance. There's one last thing about this opinion I need to say. Sometimes the purest form of game design argument refers to the fact that you need to think about microtransaction during the game design phase. So microtransaction affect game design. And that's true, you need to think about it during game design, it's very important. But it's not tainting your game, it's just shaping it. Let me explain. To me, saying I need to put microtransaction in my game is just a limitation you give to yourself, just like deadlines or budget. Those are things that will limit your game design, like a canvas for a painter, or the fact that you only have 10 fingers for a piano composer. Does that mean that the result will be boring, simple, or basic? Yeah, I don't think so. One of my best quotes is this: the enemy of art is the absence of limitations. Yes, limitation will affect your art, but the result won't be impure because of that. It just means you'll have to twist your mind to be creative inside those limitations. The best games I believe we did at Berserk Studio came from the fact that we were running out of time or running out of money. I love to give myself lots of limitations. For example, what game can I do alone in 2 days with 3 kids over my shoulder? The result can be pretty fun. If you don't have any limitation, be very careful. We all know how it ended up for them. But yeah, I digress. That was my little rant against that pure game design bullshit. Let's get back to our rules. Rule number 3. Players must fall in love with your game first. Too many times I've seen games where right off the first 5 minutes of gameplay, it asks me if I want to pay for something. Here's an example. You download the game, you open it, you press start, and then BAM! Unlock full version! I can guarantee you that nobody will hit that button. I don't even know what the game is about. You told me that the game was free to try, so why don't you let me fucking try it first? I won't buy your game based on the title screen, come on! Show that screen after 10 minutes of play, or when the guys reopen the game the second or the third time. But never the very first time you open the game. It's useless. You won't make a sale, and you're annoying players. Here's another example. You play a little, then you eventually die for the first time. That's normal. You're learning. And then the game goes, do you want to resurrect for 5 crystals? I don't even know what are the consequences of dying. Do I lose score? Do I lose experience or gold? Does something happen? It's already hard to learn a game. Don't confuse me with stuff I need to ignore when I'm learning. So no, I don't want to resurrect for 5 crystals. Maybe later. For now, I just want to discover a game. Focus on giving the player a good time. Make him happy first. So there you have it, my 3 rules for freemium game developers. I believe that if you follow those rules, you won't piss off anybody. Now, just to be clear, I am not saying that every game should have microtransaction because that's the way the world will be because Jesus. No, I'm not saying that. If you don't want to mess with that big whole science that is microtransaction, just don't. Mark, the artist behind Berserk Ball, and I are currently working on a project together. Something we don't want microtransactions in, because it just don't fit the game. What I'm saying is that if you go down that road, think about it during the game design, not at the end of the project. Don't forget to make the game for people who don't pay. Now, I really wanted to talk about different type of microtransaction you can use, if it's good money-wise or ethical-wise. For example, the tip jar approach that Space Team did, didn't go well money-wise, and I wanted to talk about that. Or for example, using gambling techniques in microtransaction. But I ran out of time, I'll have to make another episode on that, sorry. But until then, thank you very much for watching. You can reach me out on YouTube, Facebook or Twitter, or on my website, just as usual. And yeah, I gotta prepare, I catch my plane tomorrow, so see you next time guys, bye.